Now sit back down, you piece of shit.
Geez, that's not very nice to say to our production assistant.
How much should we pay you? Yeah, exactly. He's not worth it.
Welcome to Friday.
That's right. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening on release date, or as I always say, get your shit together if you're not.
Yeah.
Simple as
Welcome to tuning in to 2c3pod's podcast on your drive to work or drive home from work or drive to somewhere or sitting at work doing nothing, or if you're at the gym or if you're on the toilet.
Wow.
If you're listening anywhere else, you shouldn't be listening.
No, that's right, exactly. But for the first half of that, I think everyone was doing something in their car. So, I mean, hey, watch out for that bus.
Yeah,
Jesus
stop pooping
Christ.
in your car. Anyway, Mitchell, kick it off.
That's right. It doesn't matter if it's the 12th prime number or Jose Maria Lopez's touring car, because it's time for 2c3pod GST, Shakespeare's playlist. Thanks, Dylan. That's all right. I don't even have a point. Oh. Shit. I'll figure something out. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Bruce Almighty.
Yay! He fucking got one and I winged it!
Oh, that's good. Welcome to Two's Company 3's podcast.
I assume that's Bruce Almighty 2003.
Welcome to Two's Company 3's podcast, a podcast where we occasionally talk about movies and games and TV shows. My name is Dylan, as always, along with my co-host,
Mitchell.
And today we've got a chock-a-block episode absolutely full of all of the latest trailers a full-on review of the latest Stephen King adaptation, Dr. Sleep. Yes. Now, if you've tuned into our Wednesday episode, we did harp on about that movie for quite a while. Just a smidge.
No, a little bit more about the box office. So if you haven't heard about that, listen to why it's bombing and then come back here and listen to how the movie is.
Yeah. You might want to go see it after we talk about it because the movie is good.
That's right.
But,
exactly. Yes.
Mitchell.
Well, I just wanted to address the fact that, like I said in the opening before Dylan cut me off, this is GST, where we get slightly tanked, motherfucker.
Absolutely.
And, yes,
bottoms up.
So, bottoms up. We are going to have a blast, and I hope you guys do too. Whether you're listening to us on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watching us on YouTube.
A big summer blowout.
But anyway, Dylan, I think you just said something. I think we needed to head somewhere.
Oh, I think I can hear the tractors in the distance, Mitchell.
Oh, it's time for the trailer park, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of the show for the week where we listen to the freshest trailers of the week. Oh, yeah. I am fired up and very tipsy, so we are going to get this done right.
Alrighty, so this is the part of the week where we talk about the latest...
I tried to explain it.
That's fine. Every time we do this, we got to go, and then we've got to explain what the hell we're talking about. So, each week, we talk about the latest trailers that have hit the internet, most recently, some that aren't as popular and some of the bigger ones. Now, we do have quite a few hits on our hands.
Yes, there's definitely going to be some big summer blowouts, but there could be some big summer blunders as well. That's how we rate these, whether we think they're going to be something good or something not so good. So, let's kick it off.
Alrighty. Do you want to take this one?
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely I do.
Alrighty.
And I put this at the start to force everybody to listen to my double wide of the week straight out of the gate.
I was wondering where your double wide was going to be this week.
It's definitely not fucking Wendy. Stay tuned for that one.
Alrighty.
But no, double wide of the week. So this is the trailer that I like to take around to the neighbors and show off a little bit because it is my prime pick of the bunch. And there is a very, very big reason for that. Yeah. I'm going to kick this off with The Invisible Man. Elizabeth Moth. Fuck,
You wrote it.
I wrote it. Oh my god, man, I wrote that.
You got her name right last week.
No, I got it right. I got it right the last time I was drinking, but the time before that, we could not say Moss.
No,
but Elizabeth Moss stars as Cecilia, a woman stuck in an abusive relationship until her abuser commits suicide. Or does he? Turns out maybe he's invisible now, or maybe Cecilia's crazy, or maybe the iPhone 12 will be able to float while you take pictures with it. Looks like a great flick for the kiddies, coming to the US 28th of February, internationally early March. Based on the novel by H.G. Wells and written and directed by my other boy, Lee fucking Winnell.
Now explain to the good people who Lee Winnell is.
This is why this is my double wide of the week. Now, if you notice on my right hand, watching on YouTube, I have Billy the Puppet tattooed from Saw.
Yeah.
Now, Saw was created, written by Lee Winnell, and directed by James Wan, who was my boy, who has made it big. Lee Winnell, still doing his thing, still making him buck, that's for sure.
Yep.
But Lee Winnell was the creator of Saw, and he has been a part of Dead Silence and also the Conjuring series.
Dead Silence is great.
Dead Silence is fantastic, very underrated, 2007, check it out. But Lee Winnell, my boy.
Yeah.
And he is getting a blockbuster of a movie that's going to be coming internationally to theaters and is going to smash it, man. It looks fantastic.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons why I'm really excited for this film, and I'll name off a few. One, Elizabeth Moss. I'm really excited because she's a phenomenal actor.
She's great. sorry, before you keep going, I just wanted to say, remember when we saw the kitchen?
Yep.
It's almost like the exact same character, dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, she was the best character in the
100%,
kitchen. She was
100%.
this abused wife
Yeah.
who, eventually was able to stand up to her abuser and,
Yeah.
eventually kick ass in the end.
Absolutely.
More about that in a former episode. But
Yes.
Elizabeth Moss has really shown her chops as a leading actress, I
Yes.
think, and this is obviously another opportunity for her to show her strengths.
100%.
Not only that, Lee Winnell, as we've already established, is an amazing film writer and
That's
director,
right.
so I'm
Well-
looking forward to him having another staple in the cinematic universe.
That's right. Direction-wise, he hasn't had that hit yet, and I
Yep.
feel like this could be the one to take him to that level.
Absolutely.
But writing-wise, he is such a mind.
And the production
Yes.
company.
Yes.
A very big fan of the production company. This is Blumhouse Productions.
Exactly. Wait, I swear I thought I wrote something down in the notes for that. No, I didn't. Okay, but I thought I wrote in my notes. I don't know where they've gone, but I think this is them trying to... No, it's in another one. It's in another trailer.
There is
remember, there is another Blumhouse production coming soon in Trailer Park.
Yeah.
Yes. But, dude, The Invisible Man looks fantastic. And the key point as well from this that I just wanted to point out to the lovelies, ladies and gentlemen, the TCT pack, is so she's in an abusive relationship with a very wealthy man. He commits suicide. I'm using inverted commas.
Yep.
But she gets given in the will, but he left you $5 million to her shock. But there's one catch. She needs to be proved to be clinically sane.
Yeah.
That's
So that's
the
the catch in the
that's the
trailer.
big kicker from it. So,
Yeah.
of course, she needs to be proven to be clinically sane. And now she's being chased by an invisible man. So everybody thinks she's crazy. So she's not going to get the money. Like, there seems to be these underlying things that are going to really just come to a head.
Yeah.
But have you seen Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon?
Hollow Man is an amazing film.
It's really good, man. I
Yeah.
feel like it came and went like back in the day. And I saw it when I was a kid and I fucking shit my pants. But also there was some titties in there. So I was like, what's
Yeah.
up? I'm a kid.
Yeah,
But-
so that movie, like Hollow
Yeah.
Man, when it came out, the special effects, so the year 2000, and one of the reasons
big
why I
time.
really like it, and I wanted to give this a quick Google to make sure it confirmed my remembrance of it. Directed by one of my most favorite directors, Paul Verhoeven.
Oh, yes.
So RoboCop,
Yeah,
Total
yeah.
Recall,
Of
and a
course.
whole bunch of
Jesus
go
Christ,
on.
dude. That
Yeah.
had a $95 million budget.
Yeah.
Hollow Man.
Starring Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
Elizabeth Shue, and Josh Brolin.
Yes.
Now, that's another story
young
told by
Josh Brolin.
H.G. Wells. So, essentially, Hollow Man is the Invisible Man. So, this is...
Dude, Hollow Man is basically a modern reimagining of The Invisible Man from 1933,
Yeah.
based off the H.G. Wells novel.
Yeah.
But now they've gone back to traditional Invisible Man.
Absolutely. Now, development of a new Invisible Man began back in 2007 when David S. Goyer
Oh!
was hired to write
Just
the
spoken
screenplay.
about in Wednesday's episode.
Yeah. So this is another one that's come off that, but he's no longer doing it. But
No.
it's interesting to think because the Invisible Man being one of those long-standing sort of horror icons, H.G.
Yeah,
Wells, as we
yeah.
said, this is still Universal's attempt at creating the dark universe, which the last one
Yes.
was the biggest failure of all time, the Mummy reboot starring Tom Cruise.
Cruise.
That movie I fell asleep in.
Oh, man.
Listen, nothing against Tom Cruise. I
No,
think he's a
no,
good
no,
actor
no.
and an action star.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that
100%.
movie wasn't great. And
Oh.
Russell Crowe is like a year younger, and he looks 30 years older.
Oh my God, Russell Crowe looks like he's getting close to the end. Tom Cruise literally looks like he just walked off the set of Cocktail.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, man,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, whatever you're doing, all that money, man, it's going to a good place.
Yeah.
I know you're listening.
So I know them attempting to establish this dark universe was a bit of a failed... It was a bit of a failed adventure, but I'm glad that they're still continuing to make these films based on these established franchises and trying different ways about it. Now, they've obviously hired a production company, Blumhouse, who is known for making good and average horror films. There's another one on this list. I believe it's on the list for later, which is another Blumhouse production.
Yes, there is.
Which
There is 100%.
has very
That's why I
Truth
got my
or Dare
notes confused.
vibes.
Oh, big time.
We'll discuss
Yes.
more of that. But as we said, starring Elizabeth Moss,
Yes.
the Invisible Man. It tells a story of an invisible man who's essentially hunting this woman and messing with her,
100%,
and is
yeah.
always in the room even though you can't see him. So it's got that haunting vibe.
No,
so
that's right. And you've got to remember as well, $5 million is riding on her being sane. So there's a lot of that. But the trailer, it gives a bit away, but it really does look like it's going to be tense, amazing. And I think they hired the right dude to write and direct this.
Absolutely.
Big summer blowout, February 2020. Thank you. You can do something right, you dumb boss.
Big summer blowout.
Big summer blowout,
Excellent.
100%. All right,
Absolutely.
Dylan, would you like to take it away?
I'll take it away for the next one. Now,
God.
the next one I'm really looking forward to. I
Yeah?
only saw the trailer 2 days ago before our Wednesday episode recording.
Yes.
Scoo! Scoob. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
We all know him. We all love him. But do we know his origin story? Well, the trailer sums it up in about 20 seconds and then moves forward to present times where our beloved heroes Shaggy and Scooby get abducted by aliens. Or robots or something that take them to IKEA? Or Falcon Fury? Coming summer, winter here in Australia in 2020. There's an amazing cast, of course, including Zac fucking Efron, Amanda Seyfried, Gina Rodriguez, Will Forte, Frank Welker, Ken Jeong, Tracy Morgan, and Marky Mark from the Funky Bones.
That's
Mark
right.
Wahlberg. Shout out to the amazing joke about Daphne's dad.
Sorry, I was going to bring that. I didn't want you to read that part. I was going to wait
okay.
until we've
So that was a reminder?
dissected the trailer. That was a reminder. My bad.
I can't remember the joke, but I remember it being funny because I watched it.
It was the last joke in the trailer. But anyway, we have a modern imagining readaptation of one Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And the reason, Frank Welker, was that his name? Yeah, Frank Welker, I put him in the cast list, may not sound familiar. He's Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
The Scooby-Doo. So, that's at least being voiced by the traditional artist.
Yeah.
So, takeaways, man.
All right. So, listen, I never really grew up with Scooby-Doo, the cartoons, but I know Scooby-Doo, the characters themselves, and the story goes way back. I was a huge fan of the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s Scooby-Doo movies. That's one of them starred...
Oh, wait. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., the live-action ones?
The live
with Rowan Atkinson in the first one?
That's right.
Yeah.
So those Scooby-Doo movies. Now, the one thing I'm hoping that we get out of this, other than the fact that I'm really looking forward to what's most likely going to be a fucking solid movie, is that I'm hoping that they can finally change the DVD at Movie World Gold Coast. Because there's a Scooby-Doo ride.
Right.
And as you're lining up for the Scooby-Doo roller coaster...
They keep playing Scooby-Doo.
No, well, they keep playing the making of Scooby-Doo,
Oh
the live-action adaptation.
I was there 18 months ago, and I literally, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Movie World at the Gold Coast, you line up for the Scooby-Doo ride, and there's literally 7 screens showing Sarah Michelle Gellar saying, Rowan Atkinson is so funny on set, and Freddie Prinze Jr. is like, yo, we're such good friends. My God,
Listen, those movies are great, but I'm glad that we're now getting a modern reimagining because the cartoon has continued, but now we're getting a full-blown Pixar-esque animated remake.
I was about to say, we're getting a reimagining remake, but it's animated. It's traditional, so we can have the crazy, zany antics that we've known Scooby-Doo for, and it won't look stupid. As much as I do love the Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., Rowan Atkinson remakes like live action, I much prefer Scooby-Doo in his traditional sense.
Essentially, in animated. Yeah.
Carbonated beverages.
The only thing that kind of puts me off in this is simply because I'm such a fan of those live action films.
Yeah.
It's the voice acting for... What's Scooby-Doo's fucking best friend's name? What's Shaggy? Shaggy.
You don't like old mate?
No, the live action actor. I'm just going to pull up his name now because it's been a while.
Well, you're taking your damn time.
Yeah. All right. So, Shaggy, who we got here?
Come on.
Matthew Lillard. Now, he was in Scream, which we talked about in our most recent episode.
That's right.
He played Shaggy to a fucking T.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were criticizing it.
No way. Because he's not returning for the voice of Shaggy. Right. I'm kind of like, I don't identify with that.
Yes.
I'm sure the voice acting will be fine. Once we see it, it'll be fine.
In the trailer, it looked fine. I believe Shaggy's Will Forte.
Yeah.
Like, Will Forte is good, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I fell in love with that style of voice.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard is amazing,
and he nailed that Shaggy voice.
He's so good. Oh my God! Like, there's so many underlying jokes in those movies that really hold a special place to me. That first one in particular, Rowan Atkinson is out of the park. Like, everybody's fantastic. Like, as silly as they are. So I am happy to see this with you, an adult.
Yes.
I will go and see this with you if it's a quiet weekend. So it will be coming in our winter next year, but summer in America. Zac Efron, Mark Wahlberg, Amanda Seyfried, like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Will Forte.
I will definitely be seeing this one because I reckon this is going to be an absolute big summer blowout.
Big
this is
summer
going to be
blowout
an amazing
financially,
film.
big summer blowout critically. I mean, honestly, it could end up being a piece of shit. We really don't know.
I honestly highly doubt that it's going to fail. This is going to be an amazing film. All Scooby-Doo fans. This is going to be a great film for those who are like kids, like your kids, for example. They're what in. How old are they now? Like they're heading towards like getting
7 and 4. By that time, they'll be 8 and 4.
Yeah, so they're a bit older now, but they probably have they seen?
They've seen
the Scooby-Doo movies, or are they a bit young for that? So this is perfect.
They've caught a little bit of the old stuff on Boomerang, but not a ton.
This is perfect timing to reintroduce Scooby-Doo and the gang.
No, it's
to new
from the live action ones to now. There's been enough of a breath between the character actually existing.
Take a hint, Batman.
R-Pats, I'm keen.
Sorry, I take that back. For other franchises.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but after R-Pats, you leave it alone.
Yeah.
But, all right, speaking of big dicks,
absolutely.
It's time for the next one. And this is the other Blumhouse production for the week, Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
From the studio that brought you Get Out and Halloween comes what they hope will be... Comes what they hope is the next name draw for Blumhouse. There we go. That's the note I thought was for Invisible Man. But moving on. A group of strangers get to go to an island where they can each live out one fantasy, but the island twists their fantasies so they never turn out exactly as planned. And if they don't live out their fantasies, they're #never coming home. The film is literally a horror remake of the 70s TV comedy Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Okay, so I watched the trailer to this, and my instant thoughts, as I said earlier...
coming Valentine's Day, February 2020.
Yeah. Did I say it in this episode, or was it Wednesday's episode where one of the trailers on here looks like it's got that truth or dare tone?
That was literally 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago, okay.
Yes.
Anyway, it's GST episode 2c3pod. Anyway, one of the main actors, I didn't even realise this from the trailer, is Lucy Hale, who was the main actress in Truth or Dare.
So that's why it has a Truth or Dare vibe.
Well, not only that, but as I said before, Blumhouse all they do is make like horror films. But it's the reason I respect them so much is because it seems like they take on any idea and they do their best with it.
Yeah.
Now, they're obviously... They put more effort, and I wouldn't say effort, but maybe they spend a bit more time, polishing their stories for some of their larger movies. Like we said, Halloween and,
the international releases, those ones.
That's right, yeah. But then there's other movies which are more made for fun, horror fun.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to think too deep into them. They're not overly violent. They're not they're PG horrors, and they're not bad. They're just... fun. They're fillers. This movie is 100% a Blumhouse fun filler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing serious about this at all.
I enjoyed the trailer. I love the concept. I love the fact that they've gotten... I don't know if they had to get rights because the name's exactly the same, but I love the fact that they literally turned a fantasy comedy 1970s TV series into a horror film.
If you look at the cast, though, this may be... This most likely will have comedy elements. You've got Michael Pena, you've got Michael Rooker.
100%, but at the same time, the trailer is 100% geared towards the horror thriller aspect. Yeah. And let's be honest here, Michael Pena, yes, I know he's known more for his comedy. Yep. He still has acting chops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Rooker, I know he's known for some comedic acting. He started in the horror. Kim Coates. Yeah. I didn't even notice Kim Coates from Sons of Anarchy. Hell yeah. Yeah. But
Resident Evil Retribution. Yuck.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, no.
Silent Hill, one of the better, probably the best video game horror movies ever made.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. But Fantasy Island, I recommend the listeners check out the trailer to this because it just looks so much fun. And if you know anything about the original with Tattoo, I believe it was in Fantasy Island, one of the midget, the small person, the little person. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, it's GST. Yes. But Fantasy Island, I am personally saying Big Summer Blowout because it looks like a fuck ton of fun.
Yeah. And this is the movie that all the kids are going to go see. So I will be seeing this a week after it's released.
But will it or will it not make it to our shores?
I think it will.
I hope it will. And full credit to their design team for the poster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. You've got an island shaped with the trees and stuff, but it's shaped like somebody's screaming. It's very clever.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's your opinion?
I think it'll be a Big Summer Blowout.
All round?
What?
All round.
All round, yes. So I think it'll make a lot of money in that sense, and I think people will go see it in that sense and enjoy it. I don't think it's going to be a massive success, but I think it'll be fun, and I think it'll make its money back, and I think it'll be enjoyable. As I said before, it's not going to be making anybody think, or it's not going to be making it's a popcorn action, not popcorn horror. Sorry, so it's going to be designed for fun. So it'll be fun all around. So I don't think it'll be bad. I just think it'll be one to kind of pass the time.
I just do bloody hope that we get it to Event Cinemas Glendale.
Yeah,
I know you're listening.
Cool.
Put your finger out. All right. You want to
Speaking
take
of
it away?
big dicks, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
We've got another children's animation, which is obviously aimed for children and adults alike. If you're a fan of Inside Out and anything else that Pixar has ever done, then this is another one for you. This is a movie called Soul. The next Disney Pixar original from the incredible studio, writers and directors that brought us Inside Out, Up and Coco, and comes Soul. I thought that was another movie.
Nope.
There. A film about a talented musician encouraging everybody to work for their passion and not for the man. And then he dies. Legit. It's about his soul once his body is dead. One for the kids, coming June 2020, starring Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey.
Yeah. That very accurately and cleverly sums it up.
Yeah.
Man, it looks great.
Yeah,
Seriously, I love me some Disney Pixar.
Yeah, you expect this to be good because like everything they make turns to gold. But watching the trailer, as you said in the description, is all about encouragement and working to your best
so
and
uplifting.
Giving up on the things that bring you down and working towards your dreams and everything you've dreamt about your entire life. It was it was weird that the trailer just had such a hard cut. You know, it was like all of a sudden this guy's. It doesn't really reveal that he's dead, but you know that he's dead.
Exactly, that's right. That's the thing. Like, as in, I put in there very bluntly like that, and then he dies. And that's how it feels.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe he's in a coma. Like, it feels like they could have a safe route of, he's not dead, kiddies.
This is going to be another... Do you reckon this will be another adventure film where his soul is trying to make his way back to his body?
As soon as he ran into that other soul, and it was Tina Fey, not Amy Poehler, I was like, oh man, this is Inside Out.
Yeah,
but with souls instead of feelings.
There was speculation a couple of months ago when this was announced, essentially, that this was a sequel to Inside Out.
Well, that would make a fuck ton of sense.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a sequel. I think it's just heavily influenced and set within the same sort of cinematic realm as Inside Out. And Inside Out is an amazing film. It touches on a lot of real subjects in such a fun, fantastical way.
100%.
It makes you really think on it from a different perspective how emotions really work inside somebody. So for a soul, I don't think this is going to be pandering to any kind of religious thing at all.
Oh, fuck
It's
no.
more about who you are as a human and what you do with your time here.
Well,
and once your time is up, I think it's more encouraging people to make the most of their life while they're here. Start a podcast.
No, why the fuck not? But you're 100% right. We've only seen a minute 30 teaser trailer, but from the tone of the film so far, it doesn't look like they're going to go down that very obvious that they could religious route. It purely looks like an uplifting motivational film, a la Inside Out, where you learn about yourself and you learn about the soul in this one. Like, big summer blowout.
Big summer blowout. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
Mark my words. This is another Mitchell 2c3pod prediction. Oscars 2021. This is best animated film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've got such good feelings about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Disney Pixar, man. They get me. Every time.
Absolutely. Right. So big summer blowout from
both of us.
Grand scheme of things and personal. So absolutely.
100%. All right. But speaking of big dicks.
Absolutely.
We've got to carry it on.
We're going to catchphrase.
All right. This one was a close second for my double wide of the week. It's probably my extension to the trailer. It's not my double wide. It's my extension. Color Out of Space.
Yes.
Well, would you look what we have here? A new Nick fucking Cage movie based on the novel by H.P. Lovecraft, the Reanimator author. Comes this twisted film about a family who escapes from the city to live in the woods. Next minute, a meteor comes and changes the atmosphere around them and affects the grass, the water, the trees, the color of things? Seems twisted, but I am amazingly intrigued. Nick Cage seems to be acting normal and then, of course, starts blowing people's heads off with a shotgun. Count me the fuck in. Coming 24th of January in the US, and we missed it at Monster Film Festival on the 3rd of November in Australia.
God damn it. When was that and where was that?
I don't know where, and I don't know. Well, I just said November.
Yeah, I realised. Hold on a minute.
But I almost forgot.
Color Out of Space. I saw an announcement for this recently, and then I recently watched the trailer for the podcast, and this is something that I'm super intrigued in. Now, I say every week that there's a new Nick Cage film out, that the film he's in, like Mandy and Primal and all these other ones, they look interesting. I just haven't got around to seeing them yet.
We don't have as much access, man.
Well, that's right, because they don't come to cinemas, and then they're not released on streaming services that I own. But I really enjoy a lot. It turns out that I really enjoy a lot of Lovecraftian influenced pop culture things, whether it's video games or movies. This is a direct writing of H.P. Lovecraft's Color of Space. And if you look at the poster and you watch the trailer, this is a 2020 release of a 70s horror film.
100%.
And I love that idea.
The poster, that font, that's the Reanimator font, man.
Yeah.
Because it's Lovecraft.
Yeah.
This movie, and like, you can take the good and the bad with Nick Cage, but in particular, this one, it feels so 70s. It feels so old school.
Yeah.
Because it is an old school story.
But because it's based on a color as well, and that their surroundings change into like a color that's influencing their environment, which isn't actually on the spectrum of human visualization, this film is also going to be very colorful, which does hark back to the 70s and 80s as well.
100%.
But this is a movie which could have been done back then, and it would have maybe had that poltergeist kind of special effects look to it. But now using like a 70s theme cinematic filming style in 2019.
That's the draw for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I am all on board with this. And not only that, this is a lesser film that has only just got American distribution coming in January. Internationally, I'm not sure yet. It's gone to a few festivals, but it's still got somewhat of a budget. It got $6 million, man.
Yeah.
That's a tasty amount to be able to make this practical and actually, you know, make it look half decent, not just look like a low budget, just, we'll make this book movie for funsies. Like,
as we've said a lot in these episodes, you know, that like sometimes bigger budgets can benefit and sometimes not. You know, for things like Pixar movies, like we just said, like there's bigger budgets are needed because you got to hire 1 million bloody visual effects artists and things like that. Films like these, a lesser budget draws more out of the creators. Yeah. So you're in for an absolute treat. And not only that, this movie stars Tommy Chong. Yeah. As a weird high dude.
I know. They obviously go to question why all of these colours and stuff, and they go to fucking, of course, Tommy Chong is playing a stonerish character, and he's just like, oh, it's just the world, man, coming to get you, and then next minute there's a monster. Like, it looks like a fuck ton of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for $6 million, it's going to make bank.
Yep.
Okay? Big summer blowout on both schemes, because even with just the domestic American release, it'll get $6 million easy.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not sure what the production company is, but hey, you've got Nick Cage, you've got H.P. Lovecraft, you've got old school 70s horror, thriller, mystery vibes going on. You've got Tommy Chong playing a stoner. This is a winner. This is
going to be successful in the same way that Mandy is, I believe. It's going to be a cult classic. It's not going to make bank at the box office, but it will be widely distributed amongst film fans like us and others alike. And it's going to make its popularity rounds like that. These kind of movies are made without the expectation of making any money back. Yeah. They're more about creating something. Yeah, exactly. And then having
something
it exposed.
That hasn't been done.
Yeah.
That's the key here. Okay, I know it's a novel, but this is not a remake. This is its own thing, you know? Like, we're literally gearing up this weekend for seeing Charlie's Angels. Like, because there's nothing else new, you know? They keep rebooting, remaking. Yeah. This is new.
If this was something...
Advanced Cinemas Glendale, please.
If this was to come to the cinemas, I would 110% see this.
Dude.
Yes, absolutely.
100%. But no... Lovecraft story, big summer blowout.
Before we move on to the next one, there's one other thing I do want to say about movies being created, you know, and inspired by Lovecraftian stories, you know, and, you know, what did we say before? H.R. Wells? Is that how we said it? H.G. Wells. Mm-hmm. There's another author who wrote a series of books a very long time ago. I will get the years wrong, so I won't say the years. But there's only been one cinematic attempt that adaptation that I know of that was really popular at the time, and it's still iconic to this day essentially, but there hasn't been any others since. Isaac Asimov. He's a science fiction writer from maybe the 30s or 40s or earlier. I don't know, but he wrote I, Robot.
Okay.
He wrote a lot of themes about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, right, okay.
And I became a huge fan of those sort of stories. I haven't read the novels, but the stories and the concepts when I was a kid, as I used to tinker with robotics.
Probably tinkered a lot with your love for that particular genre as well. Terminator, RoboCop.
That's right. There was literally a time in my life when I was younger when, like, the news agencies, you know how they bring out, like, issues where you can build something?
Things, and the first one's $2 and the next one's fucking $18 and I couldn't finish any of them.
As a kid, I built something called, what was it called?
Some kind of robot thingy.
Some kind of robot thingy. It was a little blue robot that used to follow your lights and sensors and stuff. I think our production assistant knows what I'm talking about, but I can't.
Well, we don't pay him to talk.
It hadn't pay you to talk either.
Well, fuck. Welcome to the last and final 2c3pod.
Anyway, but that series had an amazing issue of magazines that came with it that talked about all kinds of robotics and stories and things like that, but also you get to build a robot with it. Yeah. So if we're getting more movies based on H.P. Lovecraft and some of these older science fiction writers, come on, Hollywood. Isaac Asimov stories, get them pumping. But keep the budget slow.
Come on.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Anyway, all right. No, I just wanted to throw it. Have you heard of Matthew Riley?
Yes.
Australian author who has amazing science fiction action thriller novels. I've read like 3 of them.
You read books?
I did.
Right.
But none of them have been made into movies as far as I know, and they are amazing.
We're doing it. Let's do it.
Matthew Riley, Hollywood, we're coming.
Let's write a short film. We're on.
Big some blood.
Oh my God. Anyway, I've got to look that up after the show. Please remind me.
I will.
Anyway, next trailer on the list. What?
Ice Station. That's my favorite. Ice Station.
Very good. I really want to read those now. Anyway, the next trailer is a film trailer that I haven't watched. I'm going to stall until you've brought that back up. Are you good to go? Okay. This is a movie called Grand Isle. Ask and ye shall receive.
You did watch it. You did watch this one right before we started.
Yeah, I did. It was Wendy that I didn't watch.
Yeah,
okay, so ask and ye shall receive. Another fucking Nick Cage trailer. Now, this one looks like Nick Cage we've grown to know and love. A young man is charged with murder and must recount the night in which said murder took place. Ooh. Spooky. A twisted night where the young man and a husband and wife must hunker down in their home to keep out of a storm. Lots of action, lots of lust, lots of Nick Cage laughing like a maniac and slamming drinks on tables. Also starring Kelsey Grammer. Coming to select theatres and on demand December 6th.
That's right.
2019?
No, yeah. Well, yeah, they're not going to release a trailer a year in advance, you fucking spastic. I don't pay you to talk, fuck off.
Oh, I've offended him.
A little bit, but second Nick Cage trailer
I'm not paid to talk either, man.
I know, trust me, it's all good.
Yeah.
Second Nick Cage trailer this week, and this one looks much more like a Nick Cage movie.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the previous one? Sorry, Color Out of Space.
Yeah.
That looks like a really great original concept. This one, it kind of feels like they were like, hey, Nick Cage wants to do a movie, and they're like, can we get him to be an angry husband?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's it. Like, dude, but it looks fun.
Yeah, it does look fun. That's all I can really say about it. I don't think I'm going to be invested in the story because it is a story that we've seen 100 times before where, the husband and wife are kind of, the wife maybe seducing a younger, sexier person who's in this kind of love triangle. But
it's got a very Desperate Housewives vibe.
Yeah, but also mixed with a bit of crazy killer Nick Cage.
Exactly, that's right.
He's got this amazing long locks and this handlebar mustache.
Oh, man, it's classic crazy Nick Cage.
Yeah.
But I will just say, the trailer confused the fuck out of me. Because,
What did I say right after we watched it?
Yeah, you said, I don't know what that was about. Like, no, that's 100% correct. But the bulk of the trailer I somewhat understand. Okay, there's a storm, so their gardener handyman has to stay with them. He's having an affair with Nick Cage's wife, and Nick Cage is like, hey, you have an affair with my wife? I'm going to fight you. But then they're kind of also fighting the wife.
Yeah.
But at the start of the trailer, he literally hands the handyman, here's 20,000. That should be enough to kill my wife. It's like, what?
So is there some kind of infiltration happening here?
And then Kelsey Grammer comes in from like obviously a day or two in the future, and he's like, so tell me why I shouldn't be convinced you committed murder. And then the guy's like, I didn't do it. So one of them dies.
Yeah, that's another thing that confused me about the trailer because it doesn't show in the trailer any murders at all. It may lead to one, but in the trailer they're trying to figure out who did the murder. Like, what fucking murder? Unlike the trailer for Little John, this isn't intriguing me by leaving questions open. This is just kind of like, well, who's murdered what? Is there a what? I don't care.
Did you say Little John?
Little John, that's what the trailer was called, wasn't it? Little Joe, sorry.
Little Joe, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the plant one?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that had me intrigued because I genuinely didn't know what type of movie I was getting involved with. I know what type of movie this is.
Yeah.
I want to know who gets killed.
Yeah.
Okay, it's clearly not the young, handsome guy. It's either the wife or Nick Cage.
Or Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer, you won't convince me of this murder.
Maybe this movie is so crazy that Kelsey Grammer is a ghost trying to solve his own murder in a side plot.
Oh, shit. That's next Hollywood. Come on.
That could be the whiskey talking.
The whiskey or the genius.
I'd say
cheers to that because we're moving out of Shortland next week.
I'd say the whiskey. Anyway, listen, this is going to be a big summer blunder.
Big summer blowout, all schemes. It's going to make so much money. And Nick Cage, Congratulations on the Oscar, buddy. You earned it.
Yeah, you finally earned it after all these years. Okay.
Big summer blunder, all things, but I really want to see it, okay?
Yeah.
I really want to see it. All right, the last one we have this week, you haven't seen, so there's not much point kind of like hanging around on it, but I'll mention it just briefly. It's from Fox Searchlight Pictures, so I don't know if it's going to be a huge budget one or it's going to get an international cinema release. It looked indie, it felt indie, but it was by Fox Searchlight. So I'm confused.
So it ain't indie.
No, exactly, that's right. So we have Wendy. Now, we've all heard about Peter Pan. Well, haven't you wanted a full-length feature about the girl from Peter Pan? Look no further than Wendy. The film tells the story of Wendy and a group of boys heading to a mysterious island where aging and time have become unglued. And now Wendy must save her family and the Lost Boys from the deadly perils of growing up, you selfish bitch. Really? Coming February 20.
Listen, I'm just as sick of Peter Pan adaptations as the rest of the world are, because the last one, called Pan, starring Hugh fucking Jackman, was not good. Yeah, the last and only Peter Pan movie that ever worked, apart from maybe an animated one from however many years ago,
Peter Pan,
was Hook.
Yeah, with Robin Williams.
Absolutely.
Of course.
That was marvels. That movie was like synonymous for my fucking childhood.
That was
absolutely
fun.
Yeah,
but that one made sense. This one,
I don't care about a side character of a character I don't care about.
Like I said, Peter Pan, yes. The Lost Boys, yes. Wendy, the chick who flies out the bedroom window when she meets Peter Pan. Why the fuck do I want to know about her? But also, the key point for this, literally in their description, their Fox Searchlight description, must save her family from the perils of growing up. Bitch, it's 2019. We all have to grow up. God, I don't want to work, but I got to. Hollywood, help me. Seriously.
It's funny you say that.
Up?
So she's saving her parents from growing up. So
family,
what her parents...
Family. I'm not sure what that... Vague.
Okay, so let's say, for example...
Maybe the Lost Boys are her family.
Let's say, for example, her family haven't grown up. So therefore, they're all 9 years old. Her mum and dad are 9 years old. What the hell are they doing fucking at 9 years old and having children?
John Benet Ramsey, look out.
Jesus Christ. I don't care about this film.
You didn't watch it. Actually, you started to, and I went, please don't.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's just not worth it because I regret having heard of it.
Yeah.
Big summer blunder on all schemes because, please, if you pay to watch pedophilia, you're a terrible person.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
You mentioned their mum and dad are 9.
I didn't mention pedophilia. They were fucking each other, not older people.
Still feel like that's something wrong.
It is wrong, but it's not pedophilia. We've talked about way too long for pedophilia.
Yes. Anyway, did you want to... Actually, I'm going to do it. I'll reach across.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
Coming at you fresh, coming from afar, it's 2c3pod DTCR.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It's time for our first segment of the show.
Okay, so this is the segment where we talk about the movie that we saw most recently, the weekend that just went, and we do have a full discussion review, whatever you would like to call it. Separate episode comes out on YouTube, and you can watch this and listen to this on Fridays following and whatever else. Anyway, this is a movie that we call Dr. Sleep.
I was not sleeping during this one because it wasn't bad at all.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have to see the doctor then.
Oh, that's right.
Alrighty, so
yes,
Dr.
Sleep. Ewan McGregor.
Ewan?
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor, Rebecca Ferguson, Kylie Curran, and Cliff Curtis star in a film adaptation of the Stephen King sequel novel, from The Shining, called Dr. Sleep. Now written and directed and edited by one other... Wait.
Yes?
One other? Is that the right word? By
Mike Flanagan.
None other than Mike Flanagan. Sorry. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Mike Flanagan, he written and directed some of the best...
Wrote and directed
some of the best horror films of the last 10 years, at least. 100%. Now, Haunting of Hill House, Gerald's Game, Hush... Oculus, Absentia, Dr. Sleep, yes, and also writing currently and filming the upcoming Haunting of Bly Manor, which is another series from Haunting of House Hill. Now, this guy is, I don't know whether he's famous for it, but it's something that I've certainly recognized, that he has a strain of like cast members which he uses for each of his projects.
One of which is his wife?
one of its so what's her name? Katie Seagal, I think. Seagal.
Yes,
it's not the one you think of.
Not the one from Sons of Anarchy or the voice of Layla from Futurama.
That's right. It's the main character from Hush. If you've seen that movie, she's the lead actress and she's amazing. She's actually a great actor.
Yeah.
This film is long. And this film certainly is a sequel to a film that many people this generation may not have seen, being The Shining, because it is a fairly older film now.
100%. 100%.
Me being born in the 90s, it is a favourite of mine, but I haven't seen it in a very long time. But I don't think you need a catch-up on this. I feel this film stands on its own in the way that if you don't know much about The Shining, this has enough explanation as to what happened in those events to catch you up, but without shoving it down your throat.
100%. 100%. Now, like you said, I also haven't seen The Shining. Probably at least 10 years.
In bloody donkey's years. Yeah.
No, that 100%. And I didn't come out of this going, I didn't understand that part. I didn't understand that part.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this was a very, very good balance between the book and the previous film.
Yeah.
Now, the previous film, The Shining, for me, I didn't get a sense of The Shining.
Neither did I.
I didn't take away from the Jack Nicholson classic, the Stanley Kubrick, The Shining. I didn't take away that element that is very heavy in Dr. Sleep, The Shining.
Yeah, the fact that there's this supernatural...
I keep saying this, and if you haven't seen it, you probably won't understand what I'm gesturing. But The Shining is a very heavy feature in this.
The Shining is... I don't think this is essentially a spoiler.
No,
this
not
may
at all.
establish more what's going on.
It's straight away.
The Shining is like a supernatural ability that some people have.
Yeah.
Danny Torrance, which is played by Ewan McGregor, is the child from The Shining trailer. Yeah. The movie, sorry. In the original, The Shining... is possessing the hotel itself, and that's why Jack Torrance, his father, is influenced and goes crazy. Like the entity that's influencing the hotel comes into the father, but that's answered in Dr. Sleep.
100%.
Essentially. So there's other characters throughout this world that have lived for generations which hunt and feed off other people's, especially children's, shine.
Yes.
So essentially the story follows a young girl who develops these... that she has these abilities and becomes telekinetically, communicates and becomes friends with Danny Torrance, essentially.
That's right.
They eventually find out there's a group of people hunting her for her shine.
I was going to say that's the key element. The True Knot, I believe, is this cult that is hunting. The True Knot.
What I like about this film, and I think this goes back to Stephen King's writing, is that all of the characters have great names.
Oh, yes.
If you look at the cast list, let's just go through that.
The girl that you mentioned who has the most powerful shine that has been experienced in a very long time, her name is Abra Stone.
Yeah, so Abracadabra. Yeah.
And then Rebecca Ferguson plays the leader of the True Knot, these people who feed off the shine of mostly young children.
Yep.
Rose the Hat.
Yeah, because she wears a hat. She calls herself Rose the Hat.
Exactly. Her name is Rose, and she's like, but I wear a hat. Rose the Hat. The
other characters in that group, you've got, Crow Daddy, Snakebite Andy, Apron Annie, Barry the Chunk, all these...
Grandpa Flick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so Grandpa Flick, are you familiar with that actor at all? The really tall older guy.
As soon as I saw him, I knew his face, but please fill me in.
He was essentially... one of the main antagonists from Gerald's Game. He's the tall, creepy motherfucker who's like nibbling the toes. He's the Moonlight Man.
Yeah.
And that's what I mentioned about Mike Flanagan using his array of actors in all of his films. Yeah. There's a recast of Jack Nicholson's character in this.
I was hoping to get to that after we've just divulged a bit more into the plot. Okay, so we'll get to that. But now... the True Knot are this group of people who have been around for centuries. Yep. And they essentially feed off of people's shine. Now, most of the people they feed off are young children because they don't know how to defend themselves from this type of person.
Yeah, so they don't necessarily hunt adults.
No, and they normally don't hide their shine either, these children, because as you see, there was Jacob Tremblay, I believe, from Good Boys.
Yep.
Yes. I thought he was going to be a major player in this movie, but no, he is just a... perilous victim of the True Knot. Yep. And the reason they were so easily able to find him is because he's a small child who doesn't know how to hide his shine. Mm-hmm. So he's just playing baseball and every time he hits the ball, like every time the pitcher throws a pitch,
he can see it coming.
He sees it coming. It's like he's reading the pitcher's mind, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's his shine. So they can easily track him down, and then the cult of, like you said, Crow Daddy and Grandpa Fleck and all those characters, they can feed off his shine.
Yeah.
So that's essentially the concept here. And then they come across Abra, who is the lead female, played by Kylie Curran.
Yep.
And she has the strongest shine that they have ever, Rose the Hat and the whole group have ever encountered. So they are very intrigued, and it turns out Abra could be stronger than even Rose the Hat, who's been leading this cult for a long time.
Yeah. What I like about the villains in this film is that they're not just your typical nasties. Like, it's telling a story about, like, because of this day and age and the age of technology, you know, there's less and lesser people who have this shine ability, and these characters feed off the shine so they can live extended lives. They're living for centuries.
That's right.
And they start dying off because there's less shine for them to feed on.
That's right.
So it goes to show, like, this film actually shows them fearing for their lives. So you understand why they're hunting these people, but you also realize they are the villain. So I think this film conveys that really well.
Yeah.
I think the story and the writing in this film, like, there are some parts, typical Stephen King, like the story is a bit jumbled. It jumps from one scene to the next to the next to the next. So, like all Stephen King books,
of course.
They're interlooped and they jump from time to time. And this movie does that, but it does it in a way where you never get lost.
No.
So I think that all credit to, like, the writing that this film sort of holds together.
If I'm not mistaken,
bloody well.
Mike Flanagan wrote and directed this. Is that correct?
And edited. So
and I saw that in the credits because I just want to sidebar very quickly. I mentioned this in Wednesday's episode, but I got the greatest cinema experience I have had in a long time. I got an entire VMAX theater to myself, and it was amazing. Yeah. So I got the chance to sit there and watch some of the credits. Written, directed, and then it said edited by Mike Flanagan. And I'm like, damn, he went all out for this. Yeah. And you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, some people are saying that they were bored with this movie.
See, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can get bored with this because, like you said, the scenes are so bam, 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 bam. Yeah. There was not a moment where I was like, oh.
As I said at the beginning of this discussion, that this movie is long. This feels like a 2.5 hour movie.
I think it's listed as 220.
Yeah, so this is a long film. It isn't something that you would chuck on a Sunday afternoon when you've got nothing else to do. You kind of have to prepare for this film. You have to be in the mood to watch it.
In the mood, yes, but prepare. The Shining isn't a key.
You don't know. What I mean is, like, if you're sitting around, you're bored, you've got a few hours to spare, you would put something else on. You wouldn't sit down to watch,
that's right.
Doctor Sleep.
You need to be prepared to invest in it.
That's correct,
But if you haven't seen The Shining in a long time, please don't let that scare you. I haven't seen it in 10, maybe 15 years, The Shining, the original. But I still came out of this understanding all aspects.
Yeah.
Now that we've said that, do we want to touch on something that took me by surprise?
Yes.
That I really didn't expect, and you touched on just a moment ago.
Go for it.
Now, there is a scene, because they do end up, as in the trailer suggests, which I'm a little disappointed because it is the key scene in the whole film, the final scenes.
Yep.
And the
Spoiler alert for those listening. If you haven't seen Dr. Sleep and you're concerned,
I'm not getting there yet, but we will get there. We will get there a smidgeroo, but I'm not getting there yet. In the trailer, you see that Danny Torrance, Ewan McGregor, ends up back at the hotel.
Oh, pretty much 3/4 of the trailer shows that.
I was going to say exactly, but that is the key final scene. And now, without giving too much away, there is an amazing scene where he sits down at the bar where his father sat.
Yeah.
And in this case, the bartender was his father.
Yeah, so Jack Torrance. Now, this is where I was saying before how Mike Flanagan uses his cast of actors.
Yeah.
Henry Thomas, he was in Gerald's Game. Yep. He's been, I believe, in pretty much all of Mike Flanagan's films. He was even in E.T. He's done a lot of things prior, but he's one of his main...
He's been around the block.
He's in, like, The Haunting of Hill House as well.
Yeah.
So he's an amazing actor, but what I really liked about... Ouija, Origin of Evil, that was one of his best movies.
Okay.
But what I really liked about the recast of Jack Torrance and also Wendy Torrance is that there was no de-aging visual effects to try and make them look more like their previous cast.
Oh, man.
They dressed them up as the characters.
That was the key point of this whole story for me.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to The Shining, so you know that they're going to have to at some stage address Jack Nicholson, or I cannot remember the original actress's name, but they're going to have to address those characters from the original. And I'm so proud of them for making the decision to not either A, use old stock footage, or B, try and de-age. Yeah. They just decided, fuck it, this is our own entity.
Recast and
We're going to recast and just try and replicate, but in an original way.
Yeah. So the actress Alex Esso, she plays Wendy Torrance. So that's the mother of Danny Torrance from The Shining, the one who's like screaming and yelling and carrying on, trying to protect her son from Jack Nicholson's character, Jack Torrance. Like as I said, so Alex Esso,
she's in it from the very beginning as well. When they have the flashbacks, but they also recast Danny as a young boy, which is fantastic.
Correct, which looks really good.
It looked great. That was such a good way to kick this movie off.
Yeah,
you have both of them recast, just retelling that just after the original Shining event stories.
Yeah.
And then you jump forward to Ewan McGregor. And it was done so well with the recasting that it didn't once go, oh, that's not so-and-so. That's not Nicholson. You know,
I was amazed. I was like, I'm glad that these characters are playing who they are.
Okay, so we did mention as well, but now just briefly, spoilers, a smidge, because I just want to talk to Dylan because we haven't spoken about it. I loved the first scene. You see the Nicholson Jack Torrance, where Mike Flanagan shot it in a way where it's side view, where you just don't catch enough of his face, where I thought it was de-aging or CGI.
Yeah, he looks so much like him.
Bam, there's that front-on shot after about 5 minutes of chatter. And I was like, oh, it's not him. It was so good.
Well, they made you think it was the bartender. Yes. And then eventually you realise...
Oh, no, you could kind of tell from the voice.
Oh, no, you could tell, but the way it was shot and the way it was filmed and the way
it was shot, it was just above the jaw.
It kept you guessing, thinking, are they actually showing Jack Torrance? And then eventually it led to, yes, this is Jack Torrance.
No, but it had you guessing, where I honestly thought maybe they were just some extended deleted scenes from The Shining.
Yeah,
because he did sound like it, and it was, like I said, just above the jawline of him, and it was just that like subtle shot, and it was like, oh, is that? And then they one front on, and you're like,
Henry Thomas.
Oh, I see what they've done, but it's brilliant.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Mike Flanagan, mwah, beautiful.
Yeah. So this is our message to Mike Flanagan. It's very unfortunate that this film doesn't seem to be performing well at the box office, because that's a huge bummer. But I never really expected a movie like this to be explosively large, because The Shining itself, yes, it is very popular. I don't know how it performed at the box office originally.
The Shining?
Yeah. But this is a film made for The Shining fans. You're not going to draw in younger folk who are looking for a Friday night, horror flick that like the Truth or Dares and things like that. Or It Chapter 2. It is a bit more popular because of
course,
the Tim Curry version.
No, that's right. But also it had the most recent modern adaptation as well, and it did so well.
So
it had that pre-built fan base from this new generation.
Yeah.
But this I'm not sure. Like you said, I'm not sure where it's gone wrong.
Yeah, I think the movie's great.
There's nothing wrong with this film.
Yeah.
It truly is fantastic.
Yeah.
And everything that Mike Flanagan and his team and the production crew and everybody has done, dude, it's great by itself.
Yeah.
If The Shining didn't exist, this would still make sense.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the key point.
I'm glad you said that, because people are going to this having probably not seen The Shining. And the way I see this, because I could almost say I haven't seen it because it's been so long. I know the story, but it's been so long.
Yeah.
So I'm going into this thinking, will I understand it? Absolutely you will. Because this movie is written in a way where it does refresh you on the events of The Shining, and it's interwoven and written in the way that it's a sequel to not only the film but also the book, because they are two separate things.
Yeah.
Stephen King has famously come out and said that he doesn't like Stanley Kubrick's film. He tried his own version. It sucked. Stanley Kubrick's is absolutely fantastic. So 100%. It's really good that they melded the two together. Mike Flanagan and the production company and all the actors, I think you've done a fantastic job. Dr. Sleep is absolutely brilliant.
100%, and you got Stephen King's approval.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
That should be enough. But outside of, I guess, a smidge of the opening scene where you need to kind of know where Danny Torrance has just come from.
Yep.
Outside of that, and I suppose in the final scene, just knowing Jack Torrance a smidge, honestly, you don't need to see The Shining to see this and understand it and know it's a good film. It truly was a great time.
This movie to me is a lot like Joker in the sense that the Joker was heavily influenced by a movie called Taxi Driver, which we discussed a couple of weeks ago. I haven't seen Taxi Driver, so I really appreciated Joker, it makes me want to go back and watch a movie like Taxi Driver. So if you haven't seen The Shining and you're a bit concerned about not understanding this film, go watch Dr. Sleep. It'll make you want to watch The Shining.
Exactly.
It doesn't necessarily spoil anything from The Shining.
No.
It doesn't go, this is exactly what happened and we're going from there. It doesn't show the finale of The Shining. It shows Danny Torrance, the character, and where he's come from, growing up with these abilities and where he is in his adult life and moving from there.
If anything, watching Dr. Sleep before you watch The Shining, you will actually understand the character of Danny Torrance in the first one better, because like we just discussed, The Shining, I didn't understand the shine. I just thought it was a possessed hotel.
Yeah.
Like,
legit. And it kind of was, but at the same time, there's a reason for it.
Fed off people's shine. It was trying to get to Danny.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole concept of The Shining.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand that until I saw Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
So I want to go
watch
back...
Dr. Sleep first and then go back and watch The Shining. You'll appreciate it more.
100%. I would, okay. Pretzel rating. I'm going a legit one this time. This is a solid 7.2 out of 10.
All right.
I had such a good time with this by myself, private screening.
Yep. Now, I'm going to rate this very high, but don't be like, well, what about these other films like you do every week? So I'm going to give this a solid 8.
We don't have time for 5 minutes. 8. 8?
Yes.
I get that,
really like this film. So I think
But what did you think? No.
Well, so you put this above something?
Oh, what about the intro?
No, like I'm going to, if I can give this a rating.
I get that, dude.
Yeah.
I legit 8 out of 10.
Yeah. So, best moment.
Best moment? Oh, man. Honestly, as good as all of it was, I like the reveal of why it's called Dr. Sleep. Yeah, that was just a very nice touch.
That was really good.
I love
cat.
Yeah,
we're not going to go into
spoilers,
it. Yeah.
But yes, no, that. But also, I will say, could you bring up his name again? The guy who played Jack Torrance.
Yep, Henry Thomas.
Henry Thomas. I believe you did a marvelous job.
Yeah,
and the reveal of that bar scene once they do get to the hotel. And Ewan McGregor, Danny Torrance has gone from the boiler room all the way and kind of the lights turning on as he goes progressively and all of that. And he's turning the hotel on and turning that on. Once he gets to that bar scene, that was like, it's go time.
Yeah.
It's go time. And from that moment, it was nonstop. Bam, bam, bam. Oh,
yeah.
Mike Flanagan, full credit, dude. I loved it.
So I have to say, for my
favorite moment.
Same moment.
Really?
I don't like to say that the best moment of the film is when the original characters made their return, because that's not what this movie is about.
No, that's
not. The way that they introduced Jack Torrance to this film, as played by Henry Thomas, was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really like those performances. I really like the recasting of the previous characters in this film. That was amazing.
No, but like you said, it's not because I knew that character that it was a good moment. It was the way that it was like, all right, this is everything
the
coming
way it was
to
presented.
a fold.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely. Worst moment?
Do you have one?
No.
I honestly, man, Dead Air's bad. I can't. Dead Air's bad, and at the moment, off the top of my head, there wasn't one moment where I was like, "Oh, why'd you do that?"
Yeah,
you know, everything made sense.
We can only have best moments and high ratings. Dr. Sleep is an amazing time. Go see it while it's still out. Support this film. Support Mike Flanagan. You know, let's get him more bigger budget,
not just Mike Flanagan, Ewan McGregor, and the entire cast. They did a fantastic job. They put everything into this, but
absolutely,
seriously, it deserves a hell of a lot more credit than it gets. And if you haven't seen The Shining, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
this will make you want to watch it without giving huge spoilers.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
This is 2c3pod. Two's Company, Three's a podcast. This is our Friday episode where we've gone through all of the trailers and DCTR, where we've reviewed the latest movie of the week, Dr. Sleep. You can certainly find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 2c3pod, which is displayed here somewhere and down below.
That's right. And make sure you search in your favorite platform for 2c3pod at either Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. Big Summer Blowout.
Now, don't forget you can subscribe to us on all of these platforms as well, and click the bell to stay notified for when we release a new episode. 2 episodes every week, 4 videos on YouTube every bloody week. Holy crow!
My goodness. If you want to, you asshole. If you want to get in contact with us, send us a line at 2scompany3podcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is our Friday episode. We're Two's Company, Three's a podcast.
Okay, and we are Two's Company, and you are the podcast.
Sorry.
Why you got to steal my shtick, bro? We have it scripted now.
It says blah blah, thanks for listening. I was like, what else do I say?
We all Mitchell's last line. Alright, one more. Come on, to the road. We've still got 30 seconds of this bad boy. Hurry up, come on, come on. Go on, we didn't even pay you. Come on. My lord, I really cannot wait for that aircon to be back on.
Oh no, it's stinking hot.
I think it's like, 35 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And you actually have an aircon in this room for this room.
Yeah.
And we can't do it because we've got to talk into the fucking microphones. Thanks for tuning into that video by Two's Company Freezer Podcast. Don't be sad though. There's plenty more where that came from. Another cheeky video right there. Maybe even hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Or if you don't like our faces, check us out on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube.